Host Farah. Thank you so much for joining in. This is a pop up live that I wanted to do to talk about a couple of things that I think is very important in your nursing career. If you happen to be watching, hello, please say hi in the comments. Put down live in the comments if you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from, what city, what country, wherever you are in the world. Please put it down. If you happen to be watching the replay, you can always put hashtag replay and put down any comments or questions that you may have, and I'll be happy to go back and respond and look at them. So, today we're going to be talking about basically are you setting your intentions in your career, in your nursing career, right? So, I entitled it, You've Already Passed, No Need for Approval, right? And set your intentions. So, I don't know if some of you know, but those are some lyrics from Justin Bieber's song Intentions. I love that beat. So, when I'm saying that, I'm talking about you, for example, maybe if you've graduated nursing school, or maybe you passed your NCLEX, right? Or maybe you're an experienced nurse um, that has gone through a lot of different challenges, different experiences. So all I'm saying is, right, you've passed, right? You don't need any approval. So a lot of times we seek approval from others, right? Or we're always asking other people, do you think I should do this? Do you think I'm good enough? Do you think I should do that? But really, sometimes, right, the answer kind of lies within. So, setting true intentions in your career is really important. So, we're going to get into that in just a moment. So, like I said, if you're watching, please say hello. I'm going to check on LinkedIn to make sure that I'm live and everybody can see and hear me okay. So, let me know if you're out there and you could see me. Um, yeah, so it's on. And definitely don't be shy. Like I said, if you have any comments, questions, let me know where you are in your career. Are you thinking of making a move or a transition? Or maybe you're a brand new nursing student, who just graduated and you're waiting to take your NCLEX. Let me know, talk to me in the comments. I love hearing your feedback. Let me know if this was valuable. And for those who don't know me, again, I have this LinkedIn live show that I just started in January, and it's really designed for nurses. I have different guests that come on at different times, and the guests are not necessarily all nurses. Some of them come from different industries, but they share basically tips, strategies, and knowledge on how you can level up in your career as a nurse and really how to be successful. So that's why I've decided to have this show and really also to connect with the nursing community out there and have a platform where we can have discussions, where I can kind of hear back from your concerns, your challenges, and how I can help you level up in your career. So I always try to provide different educational content of ways, like I said, how to really be successful in nursing and really how to bring about my wealth of knowledge and experience that I've gained over the years. So, like I said, for those who don't know me, I've been a nurse now for over 17 years. I've worked both in Canada and in the US. I'm 6 times board certified. So, for those who don't know, I've taken 6 board certifications, which are exams. So, I'm a certified emergency nurse, certified pediatric emergency nurse, trauma certified nurse, which are all in emergency medicine, and also nursing professional development board certified, which is in education, nurse exec advanced board certified, which is a leadership certification, and then certified patient experience professional, which is in patient experience, right? All that customer service type stuff. So, like I said, I'm 6 times board certified. I have my master's in nursing education and worked in the emergency for quite some time. Also held different positions such as charge nurse, travel nurse, and leadership roles like the nurse, like nursing education. I was the director um, at one hospital and also served as the assistant director at another hospital from a corporate level. So I've, had a lot of different experiences. Also was a clinical adjunct instructor, right, where I had nursing students. So I've had multiple experiences where I think that it's very valuable for my nurse clients. So again, I'm also the founder of International Nurse Coach, which is a business that I started June 21 of 2021, right? So I always talk about this. 21 is one of my favorite numbers. And today is very interesting as well, right? Today's August 22nd, 2022, and I just went on live at 2 o'clock. So I was actually supposed to go live a little earlier, but due to other circumstances, right, I'm on at 2. So, it's very interesting today. I should probably get a lottery ticket, right? So, like I said, if you're watching, let me know. Don't be shy. Say hi. Put live in the comments. Put what city you're watching from, and let me know. Give me feedback. Let's talk. Let's have this conversation going. All right. So, so you've already passed. No need for approval, right? Set your career intentions, right? So, are you being intentional in your career, right? So even if you're just starting out as a new nurse, right? As a nurse just entering the profession, I talk to nurses all the time, all, nursing students, nurses with experience. I talk to nurses like pretty much every day, right? That's what I do. I'm a career coach and I also mentor nurses. I've mentored nurses all throughout my career. I've been a preceptor. Um, so like I said, I like talking to the nursing community and finding out, what the needs are, challenges, and things like that. But are you being intentional, right? So even as a new nurse, it's still important to have an end goal in mind and be strategic in your career moves, right? A lot of new nurses that I speak to lack confidence, right? They lack confidence, they lack self esteem. And many of them think, well, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to be a nurse. Nursing school did not prepare me. I'm nervous, I'm anxious. So if this sounds like you and you're afraid to enter the nursing profession, you definitely need to reach out to me. Uh, Message me. You can message me on LinkedIn if you are watching LinkedIn, or if you're on the other platforms. The best way to find me is on LinkedIn, Farah Laurent International Nurse Coach. I'm most active on that platform. But you can also reach out to me through email. So my email is my first last name. INC stands for International Nurse Coach. So Farah Laurent, INC at gmail.com. So definitely reach out to me. I'm going to drop a link later where it shows you where you can sign up for my 6-week coaching program, right? So it's entitled New Nurse to Badass Nurse, How to Confidently Land Your Dream Job. So we go through different things like mindset, how to approach the job search process, really getting you ready for the interview stage and things like that, right? So it's very transformational. A lot of the clients that I've worked with, one of the number one threads of the testimonials that they give me is that they always say that they feel much more prepared and they're way more confident after working with me, right? And the result is that they they typically get their dream job, right? Um, I would say out of all the nurses I've worked with, they've all gotten their dream job. There's probably maybe one that didn't get it, but went to somewhere where it could bring her to that next level, right? And I'm here, like I said, to empower nurses, especially new graduate nurses, to let them know that you can start wherever you want, wherever your heart desires. Because a lot of times in nursing school, and it happened to me with my own clinical instructor, you know, she told me that I would never be an emergency nurse. And I share this story all the time. If you watch some of my content, you'll see this. She asked me, what type of nurse do you want to be? And I said, well, I'm going to be an emergency nurse. And she said, absolutely not. You're never going to be an ER nurse and you're way too unorganized. And I'm like, whoa, how can you tell a nursing student that, right? So I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm going to go into education. I'm going to be a clinical instructor and I'm going to be an educator and I'm going to promote this idea of nurses doing what they want, right, and following their dreams, and and going after the dream job that they want, because there's nothing worse than entering the profession feeling, uh, feeling discouraged or feeling, not happy, not excited about area that you're going into, right? So this is what I say. It may take some time to get there, but definitely strive for it and go for it, right? You don't want to just wait and think, oh, I'm not ready for that. I should wait, a couple years. What are you waiting for? You can apply now and get into these positions, right? And you don't even have to wait until you pass your NCLEX. A lot of nurses that I've worked with have secured positions before they've even graduated or even passed their NCLEX. So it is possible. So let's get into it. So, right, how are you being intentional about your career? Let's talk about it. If you have any comments, put them in there. How can you be more intentional, right? So, number one, I would say, this is my own personal opinion, right, is knowing your priorities, right? And knowing your priorities at this time. Because obviously life happens, things change, you change as a person, and your priorities may change as well. So always going back and reflecting and saying, what are your current priorities? What is number one? What is your top priority? Right? And that obviously means different things to different people. Maybe your priority right now is number one is maybe to get the most money financially. I don't know, maybe that's what it is, right? Um, or maybe it's to have a better schedule, right? A better work schedule. Um, or maybe your priority is to get into a particular organization, which is like your dream organization, and you don't care, what particular specialty you go to. But again, I always say there is definitely a place that you belong and a place that is your calling and a place that is meant for you and your skills and your skill set that you can bring. So finding your priorities, but also finding what you're good at and what you love to do, right? So kind of balancing that out. And also being flexible is really important because, like I said, things constantly change. But being flexible and knowing what are your, number one priority, number two, three, listing that out and literally write it down. Okay, so that's number one. Let me know if you guys agree with me. If you're watching, if you find this helpful, let me know. Okay, so like I said, even if you're new and you're planning your career, you should be planning it from the get-go, right? Brings me to point number two. What is your end goal? Right? I find a lot of nurses are sometimes struggling because they don't know where they belong, or maybe they've entered the profession and they went into med surg. I'm just using an example. Nothing wrong against med surg. I use this a lot. I just personally did not like med surg as a student, and I went straight into the emergency department. But maybe you're in med surg and like, oh, let me go there and explore, and right, and you realize you don't like it. You realize you don't like bedside nursing, right? Maybe you want to go into something totally different. That's okay, but you got to think, what is your end goal? What do you want to do eventually, right? Do you want to eventually teach, or do you eventually want to get into a leadership position? Or maybe you want to get into anesthesia eventually, or whatever it is. You need to start building now and choosing things strategically to get you to that end goal, because you don't want to be wasting your time in the wrong areas and it's not going to bring you to your end goal and it's going to take you longer to get there. So again, this is something that we do in the 6-week coaching program. We really set out what your plans are and really what the nursing sweet spot, call it the nursing sweet spot. What is your sweet spot right now? And really, what is your end goal, and how do you I can't speak anymore, strategically get there, right? So that's number two. And then number three, really knowing your values, your core values, and who you are as a person, and what really your purpose is. It sounds, again, cliche, but that's truly what it is. If you find out really what your purpose is, what your core values, you're going to have a more clear direction as to where you're going. And again, this is something that I help my clients with in the program and even on one-on-one coaching calls, is I help them find that clarity as to what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And it's not like I just tell you what it is, right? It's something that we work through together. And they realize this on it's kind of like easily guiding them to what it is that their purpose is. And when you're in alignment with that, things are so much clearer and things are just, a lot easier to get through. So that's number 3, knowing your purpose and knowing your core values. And if you don't know right now, it's okay. Take some time to get there, which brings me to number 4, right? You need to be constantly communicating with yourself and reflecting and checking in within, right? So I used to do this quite a bit. I've kind of slowed down a little bit, but I probably need to get back to it. But journaling is so powerful, and it was for me for a long time. Writing down your goals, journaling, writing really gets a lot out. So really communicating with yourself and reflecting to what it is that you really want, and using visualization, right? When you visualize yourself in the future or in the near future or distant future, where do you visualize yourself doing, right? That's extremely important. Um, and being positive is so key to meeting your goals and visualizing them. If you want to become, I don't know, say in a leadership role or an education role, you have to visualize that. How is that going to look like? You have to like envision yourself standing in front of, say, a group of students or whoever it is that you're going to be educating, and seeing how that's going to look, right? And you truly have to believe that it's going to happen and visualize that, and work out the goals and the action plan to get there. And again, this is something that we go through with this coaching program that I provide. And then number 5, right? It's very tough to get to where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go. And sometimes asking other people how they've gotten somewhere is really the easiest way. So finding support, finding help in other nurses, right? So what does that mean? So that means you can seek out a mentor, or you could seek out, a coach, a career coach, like someone like me. You don't necessarily have to work with me, but I would recommend finding a mentor, especially in the area that you'd like to go to. So maybe you want to be an emergency nurse, right? Then you need to find somebody who's been an emergency nurse, right? Who can guide you, or who's currently an emergency nurse who can best guide you as to how to get there. And like I said, I have a lot of different videos. Definitely check them out. One of them is, if you want to be one step closer to being an emergency nurse, check that out. So really, that's really pretty much it on the 5 steps of being more intentional in your career, right? Like I said, number 1, finding what your immediate priorities are, right? And planning towards that. Number 2, find out what your end goal is, right? What is the end game? What do you want to get to? And again, building that strategic plan to get there. Number 3, really knowing your purpose, your values, and yourself will give you more clarity and more direction. Um, and then number 4, really reflecting and communicating with yourself constantly, right? And then number 5, finding that help and support either in a mentor or in a career coach, right? So you guys have been real quiet, real quiet. I don't know if there's anybody out there still watching, but let me see. I just want to make sure that I'm still live and everybody can hear me. Okay, great. So yeah, so like I said, don't be shy. Let me know where you're watching from, any comments. Let me know if this was helpful, if this was valuable to you. And if you have any other ideas on future shows that you would like to see about how to level up your career, or any just nursing questions, especially if you're a new nurse, or maybe you're a nurse with experience and you're trying to transition into a different specialty or a different area, definitely reach out to me and let me know if you have any questions. And I do offer free discovery calls where typically it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and we talk about kind of what it is that you're needing, looking for and to see if that's something that I can meet with my services. Typically, like I said, I offer one-on-one coaching, also group coaching through this coaching 6-week coaching program. And I also offer things such as resume building, cover letters, and interview prep, right? So interview prep is also very big. A lot of people need help during interviews on how to, stand out from the rest and how to really answer any questions. So I have another video too on one of my coaching program frameworks called the Big Five, and I explain in there how to land, um, your dream job and answering any question that they may throw at you during a nursing interview. So definitely check that out. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? I think that's really it. Like I said, there's limited seating left for the coaching program, which is the 6-week coaching program. So let me know if you're interested. Message me right away through LinkedIn, right? Would be the best way. Again, Farah Laurent, International Nurse Coach. Or you could just email me directly. It's my first name, Farah, last name Laurent, INC at Gmail, which stands for International Nurse Coach, right? So Farah Laurent, INC at gmail.com. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, right? I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the Nursing Dose with Farah. I'm going to have a lot more guests coming up too in the next little while, later this week and next week. So definitely check that out. And that's it. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I might come on later on again. I don't know. So have a wonderful Monday. And that's it. Until next time, take care, guys.